How do you feel about the county owning, managing, and funding land, greenways / recreation facilities? Barbara.
That's a tough one, because sometimes these properties come with, what should I say, with stipulations along with them, depending on where they come from, whether it's from family, land, et cetera, so I don't really know how to answer the question. Maybe these folks can do it for me.
I'll repeat so we can. How do you feel about the county owning, managing, and funding greenways and recreation facilities?
Well, I guess the whole catch to that question is the county funding. That's a pretty big statement, really. I think definitely the county will have to be involved in any project like this. I'm not sure where the county, and I would hesitate to say, yes, the county should fund it, because I don't know. I don't, I applaud the present county commissioners for reducing the debt like it's been reduced for the past few years. But when we talk about county money, that's, and I understand this project is going to cost somewhere between $10 and $15 million. And I would not sit here and say, yes, the county will take this on, the county should take this on, because I don't believe that the county can take it on right now. And maybe not even in the future. But there must be a way that this could be developed and where it would be self-supporting. And I feel sure, or that the county commissioners would be willing to get this started, would put some money into it as a better expression of seed money. But I don't think that we could go into this project expecting the county to fund the whole project.
Absolutely. So, how do you feel about the idea is that county owning and managing greenways and recreation facilities?
I really have no issues with county owning and managing. I agree with Mr. Hodges. We have to take a real look at whether this county can fund it. But I would also remind everyone that organizations that are nonprofits, that are private, these organizations sometimes look to the community, I know the YMCA does, for building expenses, for opportunities of getting things from local governments when they come in. And then they operate it, they take the fees and costs, and the county receives none of that after spending money for those facilities. So it's not the issue of managing that I have problems with, it's how we go about and what are we going to do to fund this project. And as I said before, I think the only way that I see that we can do this is with local government involved. We're going to have to build partnerships, as we've done in the past successfully, with businesses and private individuals to get this project done. We also, in the operational side, we have a wonderful university here as an educational university. And we have varying departments there that we can work with, have interns year-round working on any project, recreational project like this. So we can keep costs to the minimum, but we have to find a way to do it. Thank you.
I think I'm okay with it. As for the county owning, maintaining, managing, I think someone said it earlier, maybe Barbara or Jimmy, I can't remember, but it's going to be a combination, and Larry just touched on it, of grants. There's going to be wealthy donors. Certainly the county's going to be involved. The county will put money into this. We put $110,000 a year the last 5 or 6 years average on the pool. And we put much more than that into recreation. So certainly, my main concern, I guess, is once this is built, as with every other thing, there's a cost to maintain. And that's always bothered me, not just with this, but with so many things. People don't tend to think about that. How are you going to maintain this 10 years, 15, 20, 30 years down the road? There's a big cost to that. And so many times that's overlooked. But as for recreation, I think we do need a recreation center. I think we all agree on that. But again, the funding has got to come from a number of sources. And the county will certainly be involved in that.
One thing that the government does is provide services for the residents, not for a profit, but as efficiently and as carefully as we can. So we need to be real careful about spending tax dollars, but I want this facility to be available to everybody. One thing about the YMCA, besides they're having to see a certain number of people in their study, they also wanted the county to give them $1 million and the property and raise the money for the center, and then we wouldn't even own it. So if the county's going to be putting money into it, I want it to be public property so that it's controlled by the citizens of Watauga County and open to everybody in Watauga County. So these facilities are expensive. We're already spending money maintaining a pool already, so that money, once we get a new pool, will be rolling in. That part of that cost will be into that. As far as infrastructure, I don't believe Watauga County has a debt problem. We don't want to go too high, but the money we spent on the school was, we've got one of the best high schools in the state, and the students are some of the best in the state, and we need to make sure we have the facilities for them too. So we look very carefully as a county commissioner at how long-term costs are going to be. One of my pet peeves is the efficiency of buildings, and I want every building that comes along now to be looking not just at the cost of building, but the 20-year cost of running this building. And we're doing that with the ambulance station out in Vilas. So, we get a more efficient building. I've been building for 34 years, and it's amazing the differences that have happened in efficiency of buildings right now. So we're talking, a building that will cost us less to run in the long run. But we do need to look forward and look what we need to provide for our citizens in this county.
As you all know, I am new to this, so there's a lot of questions that I probably can't answer because I'm not absolutely positive of exactly what the board does and how much control they have. But what I do know is it should be a joint effort, and ultimately it's up to you guys. Do you want this? Does this mean a lot to you? It should be up to every citizen in this county if they want this facility or not. I think with lots and lots of information, I would have to have lots of information. I want to know every detail on how they plan on making money and who they're going to invite in here because it's out there. We can do it. If Greensboro can make 25 to 30 million a year just in the economy, from like Jimmy said, Mama's shopping and hotels and gas and restaurants, we can do this. And like I said before, the Polar Palace is one of my greatest memories. We had an ice skating rink, we had pinball machines, I know I'm telling my age, a jukebox, and we had a ball, didn't we, Jim? It was wonderful, and we do need something, but it's up to you, it's up to the citizens ultimately.
So I've got a question here that also something Barbara said earlier. So some studies show that a good Parks and Rec program is one of the top 3 reasons that businesses cite in relocation decisions. Okay? So with that as the backdrop, do you find that compelling? Is that worth county investing money in to attract businesses? Karen, why don't you start here? We'll go back down there. So, sorry, I was...
Yeah, you and Barbara get stuck, you're always first.
Go back that way, yeah.
Well, I did do a little study. I went back to Caldwell to take a business class, and I did learn that it's up to the airports and the roads. Can people come in and out of here to make those businesses come? Would it be lucrative? Are there businesses looking to come to Boone? I hope so, but there's a lot of circumstances that maybe keep us from us, even these beautiful mountains. it's not easy in and out with tractor and trailers. So would a recreation center bring more business? I don't know. But it sure would make some happy residents, I do believe.
We do, we are at a disadvantage transportation-wise. We're not going to get a big manufacturing business up here just because the sheer cost of driving stuff up and down the mountain is going to eat that up. So we're looking at niche businesses. We're looking at businesses that want to come here because what Watauga offers that other counties don't. And we offer quality education, quality recreation, a beautiful environment, and a great place to live. And with the university, I mean, we've got it all. This is the kind of place that innovative businesses want to come to. And if you're looking for young people, they want to be outside. They want to have these facilities. So the innovators that are going to be these growing businesses are only going to come to Boone if they have, in Watauga County, if we have these facilities. And they expect this. I mean, businesses look at, because they've got employees that have kids in school and in sports activities, and they want to make sure that when they move to a small town, they still have those activities for their family to participate in. So that's a huge draw, and we need to look very carefully at what businesses we're drawing. We're not looking for heavy manufacturing. We're looking for innovative and smaller businesses that can stay here and grow, and companies that are here already, our local businesses that we want to keep here and keep them from moving away. So the infrastructure and these facilities we offer are crucial to what people want when they're agreeing to move to a new area. And that's the key to me, is getting these innovators here and just building on the great county we've got.
As for business coming here, yeah, we've heard some of the downsides, the topography itself, beautiful mountains. Tractor trailers coming up and down the mountain. There's a lot of reasons why they wouldn't, but the question is, would a good recreation program, facility, sure, it's one of the many reasons why we come here. Along with education, as Bill mentioned, just a beautiful area, the environment. I've had people for years tell me, hey, I'd take a cut and pay if it was close to what I make just to live where you live today. So yeah, recreation is one of many things that would play a role in that.
It's important for us to have quality education, which we've maintained in Watauga for a long time. It's also important for us to have facilities that small to medium-sized companies are interested in having available for their employees. I think we have great parks. We have national parks here. We have natural beauty. We do have a lot of hiking. We have a lot of rafting. We have lots of outdoor activity. I would challenge anybody to do that during the winter. I love the winters up here, but I would challenge anybody to do that. We need an indoor facility that we can use as a community that will also enhance our abilities to get in the small, medium types of sustainable businesses that we would like to have in the county.
Well, repeat that question. It's been a long time.
You see them talk a lot?
So some studies show that a good Parks and Rec program is one of the top 3 reasons that businesses cited relocation decisions. So what do you think about the idea of the county's money being an investment to attract businesses to the area and keep businesses here, I guess I should say as well?
Well, absolutely. We boast of having ASU here, and it's amazing what that does for the economy. Being a realtor in this area for many, many years, and I think if you will ask any realtor this, they'll give you the same answer that I am. Most people moving to this area or looking for a home in this area, one of the first things they want to know is about the schools. I have never been able to not tell them that every school we have in this county, elementaries and all, high school of course, is the best. And people know that. And I know this is not directed to the question, but I just want to cover this. I just recently had a family live in my community that have 3 elementary age children. The main reason they moved to Boone, North Carolina was our school system. This person, that they are both professional people. And of course, I will say this, our new school superintendent just moved in my community. He has small, of course, elementary age children also, and I'm sure that was a great attraction to him to be in this area. But getting directly to the question now, of course, companies looking to expand or move into this area, when they have employees, and most of their employees probably are going to have school-age children, that's going to be one of the main concerns of them being able to have employees transfer into our community here. So our education, recreation, it all goes hand in hand, as I believe Barbara alluded to earlier. So it is very important, and I am so proud of our school system here because I don't think we have to take a backseat to any school system in the state. Speaking of that quickly, and this is off the subject, we need to get our teachers paid up at least to the national average. I just had to throw that in there.
I'm going to follow Jim's line just a little bit because some parts of recreation, all parts of recreation actually, are connected with the schools. And speaking of an aquatic center, several years ago when we were looking at this, there were some plans drawn up just in case we decided to go this way for a plot of land that where the high school is now. It's just as you turn in the driveway to go to the high school, over to your right. It's a relatively steep place, but the architects said they thought they could handle that. So they drew up plans for an incredible aquatic center there. And their thing was, they drew some other plans for other places too, but their thing was, you could teach swimming at the high school. You could have kids go immediately to the swimming pool after school each day, or whenever they wished for their parents agreed. I thought, what an incredibly good idea. I believe probably all of you know at least one person who has either had children or has been on the Watauga County swim team. Do you know where they go? They go to Lenore, to the aquatic center. They have for years and years and years. I know several parents who have driven down to Lenore at 6 in the morning to take their kids for early morning practice, come back up the mountain, take them again in the evening so that they can practice. They could not even practice diving here. They had to go to some other place to do that. And the aquatic center in Lenore is just fabulous. It's wonderful. It's also a fun place. It's not just a competition place, but it's a great family place. So there are lots of things to be said in terms of the coordination of education and recreation.
So I'm going to do is I'm going to ask one more question. I want to have some time at the end when we're done for people to be able to interact with you guys as well. So last question, again, I'm trying to synthesize several questions, but people have questions about the role of the TDA, okay? And specifically the role of the TDA in funding infrastructure as opposed to just funding marketing or advertising. So what role do you see the TDA playing in recreation, in paying for recreation infrastructure?
I think they would have to undergo several transitions in terms of thinking the way the structure of county government is put together or re-put together, whatever you want to call it. I think it would certainly be a possibility. Now again, I'm not one who knows how to effectively finance all of these things in the best way possible and so forth. But it seems logical that the TDA could and possibly should have a role.
For the benefit of the audience, TDA is what?
Good question. Tourism Development Authority, and
I knew that. I just wanted that to be
educational. And I can't tell you specific numbers, but occupation taxes go into a fund, it's then used by the Tourism Development Authority for various activities. And so there's been a conversation about should that money be used for marketing and advertising exclusively, or should some of that money be used to actually build recreation infrastructure? So should the Tourism Development Authority use money to build recreation infrastructure as opposed to just using it for marketing and advertising?
Well, the TDA authority does get money from different sources. And to me, this would be a great investment for that authority because, as I said earlier, they are going to be, the motel owners especially will be one of the beneficiaries of a project like this. So I was actually thinking about that earlier, that they needed to be involved in this and support this project because they're going to be a beneficiary of this. When people come into town, they always usually spend the night. People love to come to the mountains. They love to come to Boone, North Carolina, Blowing Rock, and so on. So it would be a great investment for that authority to get involved in this.
I have to say, I think an easy answer to say yes, they should be. And I think it would be a wise investment. But as you pointed out, their money comes from several different sources. And I think one of the things that we have to do is make sure that there are no restrictions on how specific monies are getting spent. But given that, I don't think marketing and advertising is the only thing our tourism bureau should be doing. It should be enhancing what we have to bring tourists to this part of the state.
The TDA, it's already, many people don't know that, Billy and I do, we're on the commission, but they have, it's set up where they have to spend a certain amount of money for marketing. But yes, the other monies could easily be part of this. No problem. I would think that they would want to be part of this. They were part of the Rocky Mountain Bike Park, very instrumental in that. And some other parks and other, I think the landing out by the new river, I just go on and on. So yeah, they are very active in the things of this county like that would benefit the citizens of this county. And this certainly would. I don't know what the percentage is, maybe you know, but yeah, would you give it a shot? Because they don't know, so you can fake them out.
I'm not trying to fake anybody out. If my numbers are wrong, feel free to correct me. But by statute, I believe the Tourism Development Authority has to spend 2/3 of its money on advertising, and about 1/3 can go otherwise. But that third can go to the advertising. In the last 4 or 5 years, the people that have been appointed to the TDA board by the commissioners have taken more of that money away from projects and applying for grants and taking it more to the advertising end. That's a vital part, but when we get people up here, we've got to have things for them to do. So the board appointments on the Tourism Development Authority, and it's been a big turnover in the last 4 years, really has, in my opinion, hurt the TDA. They can take that $300,000 plus and use it to apply for grants, and a lot of these walking trails came through that, and they partner with people, and they make that money grow into a much bigger pie, and then we get that for facilities, and without having to pay more taxes, that comes in. A lot of the TDA money comes in from room rates, tax on the room rates in the county, so it's people that are visiting here that are usually paying for that. So that's, I think, why the statute wants some of it to go back to advertising. But I think 2/3 of that is plenty for advertising. The rest needs to be going for applying for grants and helping us develop better facilities for everybody in the county and everybody who comes here to visit.
Well, that was new to me because I had no idea about the TDA, so it's very interesting. And I have to agree, like I said a moment ago, it's going to be a community thing. It's got to be a county-wide thing. And evidently, it was a great question, whoever wrote it, because they're already in it. So I definitely agree that they should have a part in it.
All right, so thanks everybody for coming. We do have this on video that we're going to post on our website, backcountryrec.com. So for people who would be interested in this, please pass it on. A couple of civics-oriented things. Number one, there's been multiple times where it's been talked about tonight that this is a grassroots thing, it's what the people want. So I would encourage you, if recreation is important to you, take a minute and write the current commissioners, a couple of which are up here right now. You go to highcountryrec.com, their emails, their public emails are up there. Write them an email. They want to listen, they want to hear what you have to say, okay? So take a moment to do that. The second thing is, be involved in this next election. That's one of the reasons we have people here. So just so I can get my details, the deadline to register to vote is on Friday, October 10th. Early voting starts on Thursday, October 23rd, and runs through Saturday, November 1st. And election day is Tuesday, November 4th. So get out and vote. Appreciate everybody coming tonight. I'm hoping these guys can hang around and be willing so you guys can interact directly with them. And let's finish by just giving all the candidates a hand.